I'm deeply honored that you have asked me here today to say a few words at your convocation. I cannot help thinking, as I behold this extraordinary university, of the great 19th century drive, some would say rabid desire, by both amateurs and professionals, men of religion and men of science, to create what had never been done before, to perfect a perpetual motion machine. Some spent years of their lives trying, some went mad, others created the damnedest contraptions. All failed. But it occurred to me as I was preparing my remarks that this university, DePauw University, indeed all true schools, are our perpetual motion machines. And I am very pleased to be caught up in your whirlwind for just a couple of days. And I thought about this, and I'm now convinced that our future lies behind us, in our past, personal and collective. If you don't know where you've been, how can you possibly know where you're going? In the last 15 to 20 years of filmmaking, I have learned many things, but that history is our greatest teacher is perhaps the most important lesson. I now feel like I'm an American possession, like Samoa or Guam. I am possessed by American history. However, this enthusiasm is by no means shared by all. History and its valuable counsel continues to recede in importance in schools all over the land. The statistics are now frightening. A majority of high school seniors do not know who Joseph Stalin or Winston Churchill were. They do not know of the Declaration of Independence, the Emancipation Proclamation, or the Bill of Rights, which came first and what they signify. And a majority could not tell the correct half-century in which the Civil War took place, the most important event in our past. You know, we're a country founded with so many extraordinary human beings, so many heroes to choose from, really remarkable people. And yet we've done almost everything in the last 50 years to make it impossible to identify with heroes. And I think in some ways it's in part because of that that I have gone into the past to try to find them. My heroes are the obvious ones: Abraham Lincoln, Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain, Jackie Robinson now, as I look to his remarkable example in this baseball series that we're doing. These are people who sort of transcend the American experience, and yet we are a culture which has very few ways to really elevate the true hero. We know what a mass media star is. We know the infatuation with celebrity, and that's quite different than hero worships. I had a really extraordinary experience screening my film on the baseball. To a group of people, a man came up to me in my age and said, "I've lived in New York, I've lived a cynical life, and I've never had a hero. And now that I've seen the Jackie Robinson part of the baseball, I now have a hero." And he was in tears, and he embraced me. And you realize how starved we are for something that's not unassailable. I think the media has tended to corrode our heroes, but because we've expected them to be transparently one-dimensional. Very good. If you read the Greeks, heroes are tragic, heroes are complicated, heroes are good and bad all at the same time. And it does not mean we cannot take sustaining example from them. And so I would say look to your past. There are very few people in our contemporary horizon because the means of finding out about heroism have been so completely lopped off by a media concerned, I think, more with the sort of feeble yes and no of the present. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it bad? And nobody is like that. You're not, I'm not, no one in this room. We are complicated people. And the people who have to serve as models for us have to be complicated as well. And we have to be able to tolerate those two sides of people. Abraham Lincoln was late on emancipation. Abraham Lincoln had wrong ideas, but it doesn't diminish his greatness as an American.